In the past weeks, I start to opening knowledge in a different way, in understanding deeper, in understanding more about our work, and more about the background to the knowledge of the creation. And this is very important for most of you to understand, especially those who teach in the background within the Keshe Foundation as teachers. When we come to understanding of the process and creation and understanding of the whole totality, we need to be aware of one point, and that is how much and who and where and when we can extend the knowledge of creation. As we see in life on earth, and as we have gathered the knowledge and information as part of the knowledge seekers in understanding the work of what we call universe, we need to understand a little bit more, a little bit move out of the village of the earth. When we are in the village of earth, when we sit and live within the structure of this village, we see ourselves in different parts of this planet, having different shapes and different heights and different faces and different behaviors according to where we are born. Chinese looking, black skin, white skin, blue eyes. And we have changed our appearances according to position and places and atmospheric condition and what we call geological conditions. And so we have accepted it because he's Chinese. But we don't say why. What cause? Why can't we give birth straight out of Chinese, without Chinese parents in Africa? Because African condition and environment has forced that kind of skin, that kind of lifestyle and plants and the rest. But this is what has been your knowledge. But what is extension to this knowledge is that the condition of the earth and how man has 2 legs and 2 arms goes back in its position and the field which receives from the sun. Our sun dictates, the fields of our sun dictates the shape, the color, the fields which you receive, which allows the creation of amino acid. And this is part of our life. We have received the fields of the sun, not only in the formation and the format of the interaction of the fields with the and creation of oxygen and nitrogen, but the sun itself creates other fields which are invisible to us, but interact and create the condition of this life. In a way, now you understand maybe when I say the food we eat is 20% of what we use. The other 80% comes from the environment. Maybe the earth produces 40% of it. The rays and the magnetic field of the sun will produce 10 to 15% of it, but we never considered. These come in as the rays, fields, magnetic field interactions, which are not at the moment to the level of understanding of the matter. But the extension of the knowledge has to be added that our sun is part of the galaxy with a central point. So we receive fields and radiations in a way on Earth from the galaxy. This is another 10 to 15% of food supply, energy supply. These are the fields which Earth does not provide. These are the energies which the solar system does not supply. Now you understand why we are part of the universal community. And within this structure, there is furthermore, which is the fields which we absorb from the universe. This field gives us the majority of what we call our lives, because it's source dependent and source strong. To us, a galaxy looks so huge, but in fact, it's another kidney in a body, or maybe a section of the kidney in a body, or a cell of a kidney in a body. So we get another 10 to 15% from our what we call universe. Now you see how the teaching fits in. But we have another dimension, which is the unicos and the dimension of the creator, which again we receive directly from source. This is in our body, becomes the center of the soul, the center of the cell of the body of the man. This is where the connection comes in. To man is hidden, is not there, because man never considered he receives, but in fact he was created out of it. When you understand this, you understand the change in the game of creation. Then you understand, as the knowledge of the man extends to the new, what we call level, then we will choose, through that understanding, different speeds of travel. Because then we can capture that speed. Even if we go to the depth of it, we can capture the field strength to the creator. Then we understand the limitation of the speed of light to the ultimate is for the man in the boundary of the physicality of his life. Then we understand more in how gradually the structure of the life will become more. This knowledge on this screen is sacrosanct if the man wants to travel the span of the universe, and it still exists within its dimension. The conversion of the soul of physicality with understanding the strength of the soul of the creator, where you put everything as the soul of the man, as the soul of physicality, and the soul of the creator as the strength, as the soul of the creation. Then now you understand how every created things in the universe are connected. Every ray which is radiated out of the life and extension of the life of the creator in different spectrums, as they interact, has become part of another life in the dimension of creation. Then you understand how all of us live in that dimension and direction and have taken shape in different forms and formats and shapes in the unicos, in the dimension of the creation and the creator. This becomes part of why I tell you to understand the knowledge that no man from the higher level becomes the magician of you in the lower level because he sees slightly different than you do. The end of prophethood. The beginning of understanding the totality. End of magicians. And understanding in more depth the knowledge of creation. If you have understood this, then you understand how when we put you in the what we call the flight system, according to the clarity of the understanding of the soul of the physicality of the man with his soul, you can decide in which levels you will fly. There is no limitation, except the understanding of the man in the dimension of the soul of his own condition. Now you understand, in the teachings, always said, there shall be no prophet. As man's knowledge is there for him to understand, the knowledge of prophet is according to understanding of his own creation. Then you understand how, in the word of many of you, you are waiting for Messiah, you are waiting for Mahdi and the rest of it. Because that is the level of your understanding of your creation. That's your Mahdi, that's your Messiah, that's your Savior. Then none of you and none of the creation in the universe waits for somebody to bring the message except you to the knowledge of yourself. But don't get embedded in dogmas and trying to protect what you understood. Be openly to the all knowledges from man, to the knowledge of those who come across different levels of universe to teach you. When the human race reaches that point, the human race is ready to embrace the knowledge of the creation and the creator. Then, if you look at this picture, and look at the picture in the back of the book number 3, all we've done for you to understand is we have put Creator in the center. And the rest of the divisions, according to the strength, has become what you have seen. And then now you understand how the knowledge has been taught to you so profoundly in the books, where you see the connections, the dimensions of creation, the understanding depending on the strength. Then, in so many ways, mankind will become to understand its potential in what we call the position of the creation. And then you will understand more. And then in that process, you do not need to be seen and be there to see the Creator. As the knowledge of the totality becomes knowledge of the creation. And one day, mankind will understand what it means. I made man in an image of myself, as the man has access to all. Depends how you have twitched it in understanding the knowledge of the creation. Maybe now, for the first time, for you as knowledge seekers, becomes easier to understand the pattern, the process of the teachings over past years. What we have taught in past 19 years, more or less, in public domain, from the governments to individuals, was to bring mankind to the process, to dispositions. To understand that the totality of the life in the universe is equal for all, depending on the extent of your openness to the knowledge of creation and the environment. You have become conditioned to different ways of living, but in essence, the soul of the Creator is within every cell of the creation. It does not matter if you're on Earth, planet Zeus, a galaxy, or a universe, or within them. Even the separation of what we call planetary system from each other, within it there is a magnetic field separation that they position. So there must be a life even with that environment, because it exists interaction of the field. It's not just one stick that you have and you see, but it's the totality of the structure which mankind has accepted to what we call endeavor to understand about its own creation. This part of the teaching will come to become the way for you to understand the creation, or it'll become something which will be hanging there till one day you understand the change. For us to extend our knowledge, for us to extend our what we call the understanding, is for us to understand the truth about our own creation. The truth about how we come to survive, how we come to live. Now, with this picture, if you understood, you understand the teaching from day one, that we only take, as I said just a few minutes ago, 20% of our energy from the food we eat. And that energy, which we take for the physical dimension, can be replaced with energies of the universe without killing, without destroying, without, in so many ways, putting a lot of people, a lot of beings in danger. Knowledge seekers, now you have a bigger problem than you ever thought. Now you become your own Messiah. What does your soul tells you? What can you accept in the knowledge of the creation, and how much, into which fields of the universe you can tap into to create the pleasures of the life within the dimension of no physicality. And then you understand, even the earth itself is another pack of fields which is on its way to become something else in the dimension of the creation. Those who went with the work and understanding and the work of Mitra, which means they served, they find a path, very short, but very direct, in different levels of the creation to the Creator. Those who go on a path of other ways most probably find the journey has become longer, and it's a longer way to find it back to understand the totality of the knowledge of the creation, the hell and the heaven. The hell is when understanding of the life of the creation becomes harder, and then you need more magicians. And the heaven is when you understand the process of the creation and become closer to understand the totality and nothing else. So it's your behavior, your thinking, which dictates you which way you swing the life after you separate from dimension of physicality, or in a way when you now understand how to bring the physicality in the dimension of the soul of the man to move. Don't forget, I said in one of the teachings to a man of the rope, to a priest, I said in a simple way, maybe you understand more. Your conduct decides if you're on the journey of still trying to understand less to one day you understand more, or you understand from the beginning the more of it, that you take that journey towards the higher order of intellect. Then the speed of travel depends on the level of your intellect. The man at this moment, according to one of the fallacies, the highest speed is the speed of light. Because that's all he can see, the light through his eyes. Now the next level will be what the man will see in the level of understanding of his own in all dimensions. This is part of our work. This is part of what the Keshe Foundation has done. And how we will end up to be. The process of totality, the process of interaction, depends on us. Depends on us how much we understand the totality, how much we endeavor totality, but don't think that we are the only one, and to what extent we understand is the only way. The old say says that all roads will end in Rome. And in all dimensions, all roads end with the Creator. But it depends which road you take. Understand the knowledge. Understand the purpose of the teaching. Understand all these equipments and systems we give you is to elevate your knowledge, not your physicality. Understand that the knowledge of the creation sits in different ways, and we are masters in it. We teach you in different ways till you understand. The knowledge of the Creator and his teaching in the dimension of the soul will match according to the level of understanding of the physicality of the man's soul, not the soul of the man. And how much is interaction will create that dimension of emotion. And something which many of you will realize and have known for a long time, and you call it a dream. And that dream is in fact in one level of your soul, you have taken that trip. If you've taken a trip in the dimension of physicality, you will see the physical dimension. If you take in the dimension of the what we call the unicos, in that dream you see the man of unicos. And if you take in that trip in the dimension of the strength of the Creator in the knowledge of essence, you shall spend time in that domain. This is what we call enlightenment. Is the enlightenment of the knowledge, enlightenment of the understanding the process of the creation and the Creator. We don't call ourselves a prophet, we call ourselves universal messengers, as we deliver the message of the Creator across the universe to all the same. We are part of the soul of the Creator and the knowledge that enlightens that everyone gets the same chance to access to his beauty and knowledge. At the same time, we live in a dimension of physicality that it needs to understand the process of the soul of the messengers as well. When a messenger claims to be a prophet, is the time when the messenger has failed in delivering the message the correct way, because he has put condition of physicality for its own benefit to the consciousness of him becoming one, and the rest to serve one. This is why now you understand we appear amongst you even as knowledge seekers, because we still seek to understand the process of how mankind will take from this position to the next, that we are ready to teach the lower evolution of life. Those who elevate in this direction, we have already reached. This is the process that we want to stop, that man does not go even worse than killing and destroying as it slides down the slope. Then you understand the change of the game, that there is no temple except the temple of the soul of the man. There is no temple except within the temple of the soul of physicality of the man, and that temple prays only to one, serves only one, and that's the totality of the creation and the Creator as totality of the whole lot. Now you understand when it's said again and again, I made man in the image of myself. As I radiate further, I reach the man, and I create the man in my own image. But what I have released in conjunction with what I have from different dimensions gives the man different shapes and forms according to position of manifestation. We don't hold back the knowledge. It's you who holds back the understanding. And to confirm your what we call laziness, you create other problems for us to create and change the knowledge and transfer the knowledge. As we saw, the system for flight was changed to system for destruction to create knowledge. Now you understand, when we told you a long time ago, when we approached through CIA to Netanyahu to tell him we want to speak peace, he said, I speak peace with anyone but cash, because he gets his own way, because he knows he used the tools of cash to create more mayhem and murder, and he could not stand face to face. You got to understand, the whole process of the creation is to become, to create, and to be aware of totality. Awareness and seeking to understand why you need to be aware creates the position of knowledge, expansion of the thoughts, and creation of new dimensions. Something which many of you might have a problem with, but many of you will come to understand is very simple. We go back to the same position and the same structure. We put the man in the center. Then we put different dimensions for man on its dimension of physicality. And then we create, as we said, the other dimensions. As a man, when you, at the strength of the dimension of physical condition, in the interaction with the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality, you create an emotion in the brain of the man. It's where the two interact. You create emotion of physicality, cry, laughter. Now, when you move to the newer strength, through the soul of the man, an interaction of the soul of the man with what we call the soul of the dimension of the solar system, and understanding of it, you create an emotion of that level, which now exists, that you understand the totality of the emotion between the man and the universe. And it goes the same, with the same strength and root, to the dimension of what we call man soul, with a dimension of that. So you create a new dimension of what we call emotion. And then, even further, you create a dimension of the interaction with the soul of the man and the soul of the creator. So you have a new dimension of emotion in respect to the creator. So now you understand, man at any time is living different levels of understanding and emotion, even within the structure of physicality of the man. When it's the soul of physicality and the soul of the man, you create physical emotion. When it's between the what we call the other dimensions, we create different emotions. And so man at any time has been all the time, in all levels, been having and living different dimensions, depending on the level of the same soul. While you're in a dimension of the physical life, you see and understand the dreams of physicality. You go to a restaurant, you see the dog, but at the same time, you are interacting with other dimensions. You are interacting as part of your structure, as they're feeding you, you create those emotions. And this is what I tell you, and I've been telling you, that according to this, according to understanding of the intellect, you move up or you move down the line. There is no order. You can be living in the dimension of emotion and reacting to your creator, while you live in the dimension of the physicality and you're there. The two are happening at the same time because you're getting fed at different strengths for different purposes. And this is what the man has been blind to. Now you understand. The love of the creator shining on the man has never stopped, because you receive it according to that intellect and that position. Now you understand why we position the man in the center, as is receiving everything from all dimensions. And it's very much like a funnel hole, the creator and the man. and how much more you want to go down this rabbit in the dimension of understanding the soul of the Creator, where this dimension is enlightenment and heaven, and this direction is what we call the hell. The more you give from your soul, that you have access to receive more. The more you take, the heavier you become. The black hole of the creation. Mankind soon will understand this. Mankind soon will come to understand the totality as he progresses to understand the purpose of his creation. And in Keshe Foundation, then one of the knowledge seekers made a video of the teaching that you become a star. And the way you elevate, when you move in that dimension, you shine on more. And depends how much you want to shine. And would you elevate so much that you shine with the Creator at the same time as part of the creation? You care about your children in the dimension of physicality. What about caring about your soul as you elevate and you have to deliver the perfect delivery? Now, teachings from past years start making sense in another dimension and direction. I made man in the image of us. We go for a break and we come back. And I hope I open another dimension in teaching and understanding of the man for himself, as we prepare man to join according to his wishes in his teaching, in which level man wants to be part of universal community. And do you need to spend billions to get from there to here? That you see the higher level order, or you enlighten enough that you tap directly within your soul from the energies which you receive to shine back on. Rick.